You are listening to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss our RC adventures.
Welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast, where we discuss the ups and downs of the new RC Flyer. Join your hosts, Michael and Jay, as they take flight at the park. Now on with the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. I'm Michael from Arizona, and with me always are my good friends.
Jay from the low country of North Carolina.
South Carolina.
And Shannon G in Mate.
Shannon was the only one that got that intro right. What a bummer.
Barely.
It's not like we've ever done this before. Just one of those
Who are you guys?
crazy weekends. And I don't even remember my name. For those of you, yeah, I know, right? For those of you, welcome. If this is your first time, welcome to the Park Flyer Podcast. If you're an avid listener, we appreciate your patronage. Thank you very much once again for listening to us. And it's a new week. We got some really good stuff on the horizon. And we want to give a special, shout out to all the listeners that have contacted us and sent us emails. We appreciate all your feedback. And it's always good to hear from our listeners. So if you haven't already subscribed, we have a YouTube channel. And our Facebook page that Shannon runs. It's pretty good. So, but anyway, this week we have some things coming up, but I just kind of wanted to touch base. I got this new XBC 200 Smart Checker. This was one of the new, I know, right? The new things from Spectrum. It's their smart technology. It basically is a battery checker, a servo tester, and a receiver tester, which is
it's like grease lightning.
It is. It's very, very amazing. I know that they had the XBC 100 out there, but I wasn't really, I looked at that one, but I would have had to buy that one and then a servo tester at the same time. And when I was out at the hobby store, the guy showed me this one and I was like, maybe I'll give that one a try. So I have used it this last weekend. I'm putting together the big, 33% comp ARF, and I'm working with these Gang. If you're on YouTube, you can see them, but they're the Gang servos. They're all in one piece there. They work together, and this was able to kind of see what the endpoints were and kind of get some of it initially set up. But I was able to check them and drive them and do all that stuff right from here. So. It's a pretty neat little unit. I've had fun so far playing around with it. It does both the smart batteries, so it's got all three hookups, right? It's got the IC20, IC30, and the the IC3 and the IC5. If you have a smart G2 battery, you can just plug it in. It will come up and show you the all the data and the information. You can set your discharge rates. You can set, some of the smart ones, they have an auto discharge down to a storage charge after 72 hours. And you can set that rate from this little unit. If you don't have a smart battery, it does have the section where you can plug it in and see, and then you can actually balance your sales with it. So it's a neat little unit if you haven't used it yet.
Mike, does it actually, when it looks at the battery, it says this battery's number is A349, and we'll call it whatever you want to call it, or you can name it, give it its own name, Gary or something. So it knows that particular battery's.
Yeah, it's not quite smart enough to do the battery naming yet. I know they were talking about something like that where you could actually name your batteries.
Well, I have that with the bat airs, where you plug them into the balance port, and each one, and you can check it with Bluetooth, and it links up with ISD. So I know there's possibilities, but it's not quite there yet with just the standalone batteries.
Yeah, the smart ones do have, kind of really cool technology in the new Spectrum G2s that you can do a lot of really cool stuff with. I like the fact that you just plug it in and it just reads all the data. Now on my charger, the one that I just got, that one you can actually look at the data. Like you can look at the highs, the lows, if it's been overcharged, undercharged, overheated, and if it got too hot, if it didn't get hot enough. You can look at all of that data, which is really super cool. But with this little unit, I haven't seen that on here. There's only a clicker. It's got 3 buttons. One's a menu button and then an up and a down arrow, so that kind of moves up and down your menu. But yeah, it works kind of cool. It's got the servo checker. It actually shows what your I'm not really quite sure. Maybe one of you guys know, when you plug your servo in there, it's the center is at 1500 US. What does the US stand for?
Oh, I used to know this. It's like micro something. It's microseconds or something.
Microseconds. Yeah. I think that's what it is. But anyway, it will show you where the servo is, and then when you move it, you can actually change the microseconds to where the endpoints will. It shows you where the endpoints are.
Free Sky radios, that's how you center them.
Correct.
That MS. So
yeah. Is it MS or US? I think it's like a U,
but it's short for
but it's short for micro.
Yeah, that's okay. Like if you ever deal with capacitors, it's like microfarads.
Oh yeah. Like ohms is an upside down horseshoe like that, right? Okay. But yeah, it's really cool. I have not tested the receiver checker yet because I just didn't have an extra receiver laying around. That was the normal one that would plug in. But I did get one. I just ordered one in the mail. It's the AR630 to 6930. Is that the new one, the little one, the 6-channel with the ASX3? So that just came in yesterday. So I haven't had a chance to, but I'm going to look at that one when I get a chance. So
I've got a dead one. We can make sure it's dead.
Oh, yeah, there you go. We can plug it into this little unit.
It's dead.
Well,
smack it around.
The Sukhoi, we crashed at AEF. I got a new one, and we talked about that. But when I went to try and just plug the receiver in, nothing. And I never did anything with the old plane and the receiver, so I didn't realize it was just dead. So it hit hard enough that it's out.
Oh, well, yeah, we can try that. And when we get together, we can see if it works. I still have to kind of check and see how that whole thing works, because it doesn't, I don't know how to put the receiver. I have to look it up. I don't have to put the receiver in there, but I think the receiver plugs in where the servos are and it just reads it.
Pretty sure it does.
But and then it's got a USB-C, so you can update it. And I was just actually online right before this podcast looking at the updates. This one's already updated because I just bought it. But if they do come out with new updates, you can do it via USB-C and a laptop. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, if you haven't already seen one, it's a XBC 200 smart checker from Spectrum. It's their smart technology. That's what it looks like here. And it's an amazing little unit. I've had a good time, playing around with it since I got it about 2 weeks ago.
And it's available online at your local hobby shop.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, I actually bought mine at Duncan. So Duncan's got it for me. But yeah, I know that Horizon Hobby right now is running a special. They've got 30% off on a lot of their products. So yeah, if you were interested in it, give it a look, and it's great for your bag. So you just throw it in your bag and it does all 3 of those things, and you don't have to carry around. And Jay and I were talking about it when I went and got it, and I was telling him, he's like, dude, how many servo checkers did you really have? Because they were laying everywhere, right? I mean, I just pick one up, move it, and then where's my servo checker? And I'd get another one, or I'd win them, when I went to, events, or I'd get one in a bag, or it was at the club or whatever. So I had several. I probably had 3 or 4 of them, and they were all sitting on the table when my incident happened. So this is kind of nice that I have it all in one, and it fits perfect. There's a little slot in my transmitter case now. I can just drop it right down there and it fits perfect. So yeah, it was kind of cool. I've been enjoying it so far. So, and then Jay asked about the big comp arf, where that one is. Not even close to being any type of park flyer, but it is since it's a 33%er.
Stellar Air Park flyer.
Yeah, I have to tell you that it's super hilarious. I chatted with the DA guys, right? Because I had a motor that I sent down there to get repaired, and it had been kind of destroyed in the fire. I wanted them to look at it, and the guy I called him to see if they'd received it. And he said, yeah, we got her sitting on the bench here, And I said, okay. He goes, yeah, it looks pretty rough. And I was like, well, it got caught up in the fire in my thing. And he's like, oh, after I explained the whole situation, he was like, okay, well, this makes more sense. He said, I was about to give you just big rash of the fact that you've been flying this thing. It looks like it's got 200,000 miles on it and you've never, done anything with it. It looks horrible. And I go, yeah, I said that it's really, not. It's got really low time on it. I just sent it in there to see if there was a possibility of saving it or whatever. And he's laughing. He goes, yeah, we got this. And we pulled it out of the box. And one of the guys goes, oh my gosh, that dude flies every day with that thing, I was like, no. He's like, dude, he's really beat it up. So it was pretty funny that they thought it was one of those things that that I'd been abused in the motor, and I really hadn't. So that was pretty funny. But I'm waiting for the new one to come back. It's supposed to be shipping here in the next couple weeks, and then I have to put, I have to mount that one in order to finish mounting. But everything is ready. I got my servos all put together. I just have to work on getting them to do the right what do you call it, the setting it up for where the control surfaces are flexing in the right, I'm not binding them, and then getting them to work together. So we're slowly coming along, but we're getting there. I have, what else did I get on that one? Oh, I got my pull system. It's all ready to install, but I can't put the rudder on until I mount the motor, because you have to stand the big airplane up and then kind of get it to fit, the motor to fit correctly. With the lower cowling. So it's kind of a cool way to do it. I didn't really think about doing it that way before, but normally I just kind of center it and stick it in there, but they have you sit it on its tail and then slide, put the lower cowling on and then slide your motor around to where it fits perfect on both sides.
Oh, okay.
And then you put a dab of, from what I was reading, most guys will use, what is that stuff? Not Quick Grip, but the other stuff that we use.
E6000?
You can use E6000 or the Beacons foam tack, because the foam tack is, tacky. You could put it on the mount, and then when you move it around and you set it down, then it sticks. And then you let it dry, and then you pull the, the cowling off. So now it's sitting there, and then you mark where, around it where it's going to go. And then you peel the motor off of it, off the mount. Now the mount's, not permanently attached, but it's glued to the body. And now you can just use it as a drill guide, and you can just drill your holes. Works out great. I'm just like, wow, what a great idea. I didn't even think about that. But most guys say they just put a little, foam tack between the motor and the mount, and it fits perfect, and, stick it in there. So I have to wait before I do my pull system to get the motor, kind of do that. So, but it's coming along. Everybody's excited. I get a lot of comments. People they know I have it, and they're like, "Hey, how's it coming?" The biggest thing I have to do right now is the canopy. This will be my third time attempting to glue the canopy on. It's just terrible.
Third time.
What's the hold up?
So the first time I did it, I glued it in there and I taped it all. But what I didn't understand, or it's not that I didn't understand, what I did accidentally, it wasn't purposefully, but I had set the canopy in, and then I had put a piece of tape across the top of the canopy, and it had grabbed the frame and pulled the frame in so that the canopy was tight, not realizing that when I set it on the airplane, now I have a, basically a 3/8 gap between the frame and the body, and I can't put the screw in anymore because I moved the back end of the frame up. And I was like, oh no, well, luckily E6000, I just, put a knife through it and cut it. And, it all kind of worked. But then the second time I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set it on the airplane, right? I'm going to tape it all and then set it on the airplane. And then that way it'll, sit the frame, and then it'll sit in the frame. And so anybody listening to this is going to be, laughing at me. But so I taped it, and I put magnets and everything on it. Or this time I didn't tape it. I put magnets, right? So I put magnets all the way around it, and I set it on there, and I thought, okay, this is going to be great. I left it. 24 hours later, I come back. Well, the canopy and the magnets and the glue, the combination of the three had slid the canopy down enough where now I have a 1/8 gap between the frame, the back of the frame, which I just got, and the actual Lexan. So there's now a gap, and the whole thing had slid down inside the frame. So I had this gap all the way around, and I went, "Are you freaking kidding me? I gotta cut all that off again." I cut through it. Now it was super easy this time because I just put my knife and just went around in the gap and cut all the glue off. But then I got to remove all the glue, right? So I'm sitting there with the canopy doing all that. So that's, like second time. And then the third time I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to try this. And I went out and I kind of mocked it all up, and the dog jumped on me and knocked the canopy off. It hit the ground and scratched the crap out of it. So I I called Comparf. I was like, any chance I can get a new canopy? He's like, yeah, sure. So they're sending me a new one. So, well, I bought a new one is what I should say.
Okay.
I'm not a sponsored pilot, but
I think they were that gracious.
Yeah, they weren't that gracious.
$5,000 plus gratuities.
That's it. 5,000 plus gratuities. That's exactly right. So, but anyway, so yeah, my days have been busy doing all that, and along with doctor's appointments and some other stuff. I know Jay and I've been swapping doctor's appointment stories because he's getting a new doctor as well, and the house is coming along, so all that's kind of good. But yeah, we want to discuss your Gunsmoke deal, so because that's coming up, and you've been practicing.
Yes, it is.
So why don't you bring us up to speed?
All right, so Gunsmoke is April 17th and 18th, Friday and Saturday, coming up right after you hear this, hopefully.
Yeah, true.
And for the past couple of years, I've been flying my T-28, but I've been flying the Tucano so much lately that I felt like I'm going to give that a shot and see. So I'm practicing with the Tucano, and I think I'm going to still stick with the Tucano because it just flies so smooth. And
it looks good.
I remember to take down the elevator a little bit because remember we'd put the wrong battery in it.
Yep, that's true.
Went through that, and so I think I'm gonna still fly it. I'm gonna try and get a few more flights in that. I didn't get as much in this weekend as I wanted to. I had some family in town, but I got a few flights on it. I feel pretty good. Last year I competed in the EDF class, but because of the issues I've been having with the Sukhoi, the other issue I came up with is, so on the previous Sukhoi, previous guy had gone in and separated the aileron channel, because when you first get it from either E-flite or from FMS, the same airplane, it just goes into one channel, the ailerons. And he had done flaperons, which I just really loved having that option. And the way it is on the FMS version is it's one long, each side plugs into the very tip of the aileron channel that goes into the receiver. So it's two long ones, and then they go into these little mounts on the wing. Well, they're put in from the front, not pulled out from the back. So I either got to cut the mounts and put them back together, or cut the wires. But then I can't. The way the channel is, I can't dig. I was going to pull them through. I was going to servos on there and pull them through,
right?
Or servo extension, I should say. Yeah. So I'm kind of stuck. So I think I'm just going to scrap the EDF class and just focus on one this year. So. But I'm definitely going to have it flying.
Couldn't you just cut the foam and then stick the foam back in there? Like if you made a channel, you just kind of cut around the channel.
It's good. It's just gonna, it's better to look good than to feel good, right?
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't know. I do have another set of the mounts, so I was actually thinking I'm just probably going to cut the mounts because I have the mounts from my previous one, and they're the exact same as these. And I can just cut the wires on those and pull it through, because it just doesn't fit. Like it butts right up to the back. Like you can't wiggle it. It comes out the front, not the back. So
gotcha.
I'm gonna play with it, but I'm not gonna have time to do it. I mean, I could possibly fly my good old trusty E-flite F4.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm on the fence, and I know how that thing flies, and I can do all the maneuvers. I've practiced with it before, so we'll see. But,
and you won with the T-28 before, though, right?
I've gotten second place with the T-28.
Okay.
I feel confident enough with the Sukhoi or with the Tucano,
and
I got second place with the Sukhoi. So yeah, it's kind of hard to switch up. But I'm thinking the Sukhoi is the Tucano. I keep getting things messed up in my head. But I've got a plane to fly no matter what.
Right.
And I'm feel pretty comfortable about that. So my friend Eddie from California is supposedly coming over to compete.
Oh, very nice.
And Paul from House of Balsa, Zap, is also coming over. He's been a regular. We've got some guys coming from Colorado, I think from Washington and Oregon, and of course the local guys that'll compete. Matt Ventura usually competes, but he actually is on his way out of town. He's moving to Florida, and he sold his house, and he's on his way out. Actually, I get the honor of taking him to the airport for his last flight, and I said, "You're going to get roasted like you've never been roasted before." With your wife in the car too.
That's awesome.
And he's like, I'm gonna tell her to be nice. I go, I already told her, and she's like, I'm not gonna be nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We're gonna get that with Matt. But
yeah, we actually had a pretty good time with him because we found out he was moving when we were at the Electric Festival, and we were prodding him pretty good.
Oh yeah, he's been getting it left and right.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
But yeah, so I'm excited about Gunsmoke. I think I got a good shot at doing as good, if not a little better. Than because if I'm going to compete in the Pro-Am sport, there's two classes that are the club classes, the EDF one, and then the ARF class. But my Tucano more suits the ARF class. I think just because I've already competed in, my goal is to get the Pro-Am Pro, and then I've got other planes I'll fly next year that would better qualified for that. So if I can stick with what I'm kind of working at, I'll.
Very nice. Well, that's exciting. We can't wait, and I'm pretty sure I have an open weekend, so I might sneak out there, and we can do some coverage out there as well from Gunsmoke. That'd be kind of cool. So
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks from that, we actually the week after, our field gets resealed.
Oh, nice.
So we're getting the whole HA5 treatment done. We just cleaned up the runway a little bit, and they're going to do a little bit more cleanup on it. So that will be done. And then
the following weekend, and then
following after that is the E-Jet days.
And right, okay. So you got Gunsmoke, then you're going to clean up or resurface the field, reseal it, and then you got the Jet days, and that's all electric as well.
We've been doing that about 5 or 6 years now. It's a good event. Just all electric jets, and run whatever you want to fly. No turbines, even though there's an electric motor on the front of your turbine to start it.
That's true. Doesn't count. It's got an electric motor.
Yeah,
it spins around.
Powered.
Wow, that's kind of funny too, because I was while I was actually getting ready to start this podcast session, I was looking at the new A10, and I just fallen in love with that thing. I don't know why. It's the version 2 from Motion RC.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
It's just nice. It's got the flashing lights in the gun and the new landing gear that's all milled out. It's got lighting. It just looks great. So
I actually just got another A10.
You did?
Yeah, there was one that was listed. It turns out it was one of the old LX or Skyflights.
Oh, yeah.
But it was really, really cheap. And it was like, I can probably resurrect it and just have a fun little A10.
Mm-hmm.
And, or if worst case, I'll just put it in the club raffle.
There you go.
For what it was. And I was like, at first I thought it was a free wing. And then when I finally looked at it, I'm like, no, it's LX, but we can have fun with it.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be kind of cool to see. Well, congratulations. Well, I don't know if I can get that one here in time. I'm still toying around with it, but yeah, maybe I'll show up with a new A10 V2. Who knows?
There you go.
So
the new F-22 V2 is pretty sweet too, with the same light. That's a pretty cool looking plane, because I've had the previous one and I really enjoyed it, but I had too many airplanes at the time. I'm like, okay, one's got to go.
Right. Didn't you say you had too many what?
Yeah, I know.
I know how to solve that.
Yeah. Mike's got the best solution for that.
I do have the best solution. You want to get rid of your airplanes?
Start from scratch. Yeah.
Start it from scratch. Yeah. Speaking of scratch, one of the items that I got at the auction was this little Park Flyer type. It's a EPP foam pattern airplane that was in the box, and I can't remember if I told you last time I got an Erratics, the flat foamy. I had one and it was on my desk, and then I got the other one, and I don't know if I was telling you that. Did I tell this in the last episode? I don't think I did I? Okay. So I went ahead. I was at the store buying some glue and some other stuff, and I've been slowly collecting items, like I'm sitting here with like servos and those servo, little, what do they call these? Hex wrenches to put the servos in. I don't have any of these because I literally lost all my tools. And so I've been trying to, collect more tools. And so I ran over to the hobby store to get a couple of bottles of CA glue that I didn't have and some other stuff. And they had an Erratics on the shelf, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get it, because it's just a quick, it takes like 4 screws to put it together, and you can be out flying it. And for those that don't know, I live in right now I'm staying in a guest home of, a doctor friend of mine, and we're kind of it's a big property, and we're kind of in the back part, and it's a big backyard. I think it's 2 acres or something we're sitting on, and we're in the back part of it. And so I put the airplane together, and my wife was like, oh, that's a cute little airplane. I said, yeah, I had it before, and I just picked up a new one, and I had bought a little Spectrum battery while I was there, and it comes with the receiver and everything plugged go. So I put it all together, went outside, flew it around the yard, and the dogs were chasing it and barking at it, and the yard in Arizona is just solid rocks. And this is, got landing gear on it. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going to work. So I came in to land it on the porch area, and the dogs decided to sit down and take a nap. So right as I'm coming in there, they were chasing it, and then they got tired, so they laid down. So as I turn around to land this thing, both dogs are sitting there taking up the whole space. And I'm like, oh crap. So I go over the top of them, and then they start chasing it again. So I thought, okay, well, I'll slow it down and then just plop it down in this little section that's kind of more dirt than rocks. And so that's what I did. So then I thought, well, I need to put a new battery on it and still get it trimmed out, because, I still was trying to get it trimmed. And so I took it out front, and I was flying it on the street, which is much better, because now I got a place to land, and it's got landing gear and everything. And so I took off, and I was flying right over the houses. And I got it level, I was trimmed out, or I thought I got it level. And so I'm standing down on the street, and it's flying across the roof line, and my phone rings, and I look down at my watch, and it was Scott. And so I pushed the button to talk to, Scott Berryman. And I said, hello. And right as I looked up, the airplane was perfectly level flying, and it went across the yard into the main house and hit the roof line. It was level with the roof line, the highest point. And all it did was take the about 1/4 inch off the prop, off of one side of the prop. And it just went ring and immediately pitched over. It hit the roof. It flipped over itself, and then it slid. I'm watching it in slow motion going, no. And it slides all the way down the roof line and then falls off and hits the driveway. Man, I was like, dude, this is the second flight. I walked up there, the tails broke off, the landing gears broke off, the props broke. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And the whole time Scott is is on the phone going, what just happened? What just happened? And I go, I just crashed the Erratics. He goes, get you some glue to get back together. So, that's why I went to the hobby store to get some glue. And, while I was there, I grabbed some other stuff, but, it's back together. And, but in the process of, I came in that afternoon, and I was just like, oh, now what am I going to do? I was going to fly that thing all day today, cause I had, the chargers and the batteries ready to go. And, so I wound up putting my little, Park Flyer, the one that I got at the auction. It was a pattern airplane. It's a little foam pattern airplane, man, at EVP. I put it together. So I haven't test flown it yet, but it's all together. It's ready to go. And
cool.
Yeah.
Well, that one should do better in the backyard. I think one of the points that people may not get is that when you're talking about the rocks in your backyard, people are like thinking, "Oh, well, I have rocks in my backyard too."
No, not like this.
Most people would consider that a quarry. I think that's a better description.
It's probably true.
The backyard.
Yes.
It's a quarry.
Yes, you are correct.
And there's different grades of gravel back there.
Yep. That's true. And these are big.
Even if the thought of coming close to the ground or contacting that ground means you're going to have serious road rash.
That's true. Would you tell me that every place you land here is like 80 grit sandpaper? It's true. It's really true. It's like just sand the bottom of your airplane off. Yeah, even on the pavement, if you landed on the pavement. But, well, I don't think the backyard is a good place to fly this one. Believe it or not, not
that particular plane.
Well, either one of them, because they both have landing gear, and it's just not allowed.
But I'm thinking that the other one is more EPP style, the pattern.
Oh, it's EPO.
The erratics is that 3 millimeter Depron.
Yes, that is true.
Look at it wrong and you dent it.
Yeah. No, the actual pattern airplane is EPO foam, so it's very bouncy.
Okay.
It's even better. That's kind of what the Tough Wings were made out of. I totally forgot. I had a box and I'm like, what is in this box? And I'm shaking it, and I dump it out. It's actually a McFoamy from, I know, right? It's actually a McFoamy from Western Michigan WP, or what is the name of it? Yeah, Western Michigan Flyers.
Yeah.
And I got it. I totally forgot that I had it. And so I dumped it out and I'm like, oh yeah, I could build this one, because this one I can definitely fly in the backyard. It's made out of EPP foam as well. Yeah. And you can bounce it everywhere. But so I have 3 little Park Flyers that I started with, and then this, big one. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, I'm excited to get back into it. And I've, got my new radio, and I've actually flown a couple airplanes now, and the T-28's now, all ready to go as well. So, although I don't have any more batteries for that one, I got to go get some. Those are 5,000 milliamp batteries I got to go pick up. I've been ordering the little ones. I have like the 800 milliamp, the 2,000 milliamp, 2,700 milliamp. Now I got to.
Are you going to get the Spectrum batteries for? Or are you gonna
did. Yeah, they're all Spectrum now.
T28.
Yeah.
Even the T28.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to try and stick with those, I think. So I'm a little paranoid at the moment. So yeah, I do like the Spectrum smart technology. So, and I'm kind of supportive of Tony and the guys, because they just they were so nice to me and let me use their stuff. So yeah, it's just kind of tribute to them. I'll just keep using it. But so far it's all running great. So we'll see. But,
oh, hey, Mike, I forgot to tell you. My wife gave me a call today. She was like, "Hey, you know that park that's right down from our house?" And I go, "Yeah."
Oh, yeah.
She goes, "Yeah, I think there's somebody flying a remote control plane there. So when you come back from seeing the doctor, you should drive by there. You might meet somebody for flying, RC flying out in that field." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And of course, by the time I got there, there was nobody there, but there may be a flyer or two that's using that field.
So. Oh, there you go. See, you got to be cautious, because that's like right out your front door and a couple steps away. Be kind of nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can bring my radio and we can go fly down there. Come out and see you. So yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Well, we are out of time for this week. We're looking forward to hearing what Shannon does at Gunsmoke. That'll be kind of cool. We'll try to get out there and do some filming for his event, and then get ready for the EJet days. That's kind of coming up as well. So anything else from your I guess that's it from you guys that we talked about it. Nothing coming up in your neck of the woods there, Jay, that you're aware of. Yeah. So okay. Well, that does it for this episode. I'm Michael from Arizona.
I'm Jay from the Low Country.
And Shannon G and Mesa Z.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Let's fly.
You have been listening to the Park Flyer Podcast. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to your next visit. Please give our show a star rating and review, and feel free to email us your questions, topics, or suggestions to parkflyerpodcast at gmail.com.